Here it is, here, at last, thanks to Professor Turi King. Well, you may not have seen this report, so here I am. I will bring it to you, and I will scroll through the report as I read. This is an interview with the paper Metro, and Professor Turi King has debunked claims that Julie Wandelt or Eugene Collins could be Madeleine McCann. A genealogy expert has weighed in on the fake Maddies who are claiming to be missing toddler Madeleine McCann. Julia Wandelt first rose to prominence in 2022 when she launched social media accounts with the username I am Madeleine McCann. I'm sure we all remember that. She even appeared on US talk show Dr. Phil. And it was after watching that episode, Eugenia Collins started to believe that she could in fact be Madeleine. And as you can see there, Madeleine went missing, as we all know, Portugal 2007, that was Praia de Luz, when she was just 3 years old. 3 years old, eh? Both of these young women say they believe they are the missing girl and have both claimed to have DNA evidence to back up their claims. Metro spoke to Professor Turi King, director of the Milner Centre for Evolution at the University of Bath and an expert in genetic genealogy. Best known for doing the DNA analysis for the Richard III discovery in Leicester, she also provides DNA analysis for the Stacey Dooley BBC programme DNA Family Secrets. So she's got a very, very good pedigree. She told Metro how Ancestry DNA tests work and how accurate they are when it comes to finding familial matches. Questions about the validity of Julie Wandelt's claims have been asked after a lack of consistency in her results. One DNA test with the celebrity sidekick Dr. Thea Johansson in 2024 concluded she was 100% Polish. But she claims new results show a familial relation between her and Jerry McCann. Of course she would. Eugenie, who was brought up in Arkansas, took an Ancestry DNA test, which she says confirms she's 68% English and Northwestern European, and apparently that proves she's Madeleine. I mean, just reading this, you must understand how silly these claims are, let alone anyone else, having to need professors to step in. But I'm so glad she did. So thank you, Professor Turi King. Explain how Ancestry DNA sites work and how people can get different results with different companies. Professor Turi said, depending on which company she went with, she will get different results. Ancestry testing looks at hundreds of thousands of tiny genetic differences in your DNA. They use a computer algorithm to find out who else is sharing these chunks of DNA with you. They look for genetic matches in the database, but every testing company has its own database, so you will get different results with each company. The main issue, Turi said, is that Ancestry DNA companies and forensic DNA companies are not comparable in terms of accuracy, and which I, too, have said in a previous video. Ancestry DNA is not specific enough to be able to say that Julia or Eugenia is Madeleine McCann. Not by a long stretch, she said. For that, you would want to do proper forensic testing. Again, I have said that in a previous video, but people believe what they believe. Maybe from a professor, they'll actually start understanding. In theory, you could use Ancestry sites, but Maddie's parents would need to be on the databases, and I don't know if they would want to do that sort of testing. I do feel for them. It must be incredibly traumatic to have this brought up, and if there was enough information to suggest anyone was their daughter, they would go through forensic DNA testing. To have these claims based on Ancestry DNA is not robust. Eugenia claims that her English and European ancestry proves she could be Madeleine McCann, but Turi also says this is not the case. The US is a nation of immigrants with varying genetic backgrounds represented across the country, which means she wouldn't be remotely surprised to find someone in the US with European ancestry. During her latest revelations, Julia has claimed new DNA results were compared to DNA from the crime scene of Maddie's disappearance and proved a relationship between her and Jerry McCann. Now, that was in my last video. I'll have it at the end, it'll come up. I think I called it Julie Wandelt stole crime scene DNA because there's no way you can get it. No way. When asked about the likelihood of Julia assessing crime scene DNA, Turi simply said, "My first question is how did she get hold of that information? What DNA testing was carried out? And how can they make any sort of match?" Well, there you go. Oh, we've got an offer to have some news updates there if you want. So that's exactly what I was saying in my last video. If you have a look, like I say, I'll have it up and it will say that she must have stole the DNA. I mean, how on earth would Julie Wandelt, with her background and everything that's happening, be in possession of crime scene DNA? It makes no sense. I would be surprised if that data was publicly available. Exactly. This is a forensic case and should be treated forensically. So how could the issue of these fake Maddies be solved once and for all? This will come to the parents of Maddie doing it, I expect. Turi says a very simple answer. This can be solved extremely quickly with these two women having DNA tests with the people they think are their parents. Exactly. A lot of people say that in the comments as well, to be fair. All Eugenia and Julia would have to do is compare their results with the results of their birth parents, and assuming that they match, it will instantly become obvious that they are, in fact, not Madeleine McCann. But this opens up a wider question. Could it be possible to find the real Madeleine through Ancestry DNA websites? Turi explained, if any of Kate and Jerry's extended family members have done an Ancestry test, then somebody taking a DNA test thinking they're Madeleine would get genetic matches to members of the McCann's extended family. That's where you would start to build family trees. If Madeleine had survived, grown up, taken an ancestry test, and got DNA matches to Kate and Jerry's more distant family, that would be extraordinary. In DNA Family Secrets, I have so easily found a sibling or parent for people, but it depends on who is in the database. I am a mum. I can't imagine what it must be like for a child to go missing and then have people claiming to be Maddie, particularly if they're making claims based on inappropriate DNA testing. So there we go. Fascinating. I'm glad that the interview was done here by metro.co.uk if you want to check it out. What I will do, I'll put the link to this in the description so you can go and read it for yourself. It does go on here, as you can see, to say like who is Eugenie Collins. But I again stated that in a previous video from Arkansas. And she's 22. The funny thing is, Julie Wandelt is 23. So she's actually a year too old to be. See, look, 23 years old. So there we go. And as we know how it's currently standing, Julia has appeared in court accused of stalking and causing serious alarm or distress against Kate and Jerry McCann between May the 2nd last year and February the 15th this year. See, it's just But the people are still out there supporting Julia. It's disgusting. They're all part of this. They should all be like told, like, shut up. Just you can't be supporting someone like Julia when she's doing stuff like that. She's also accused of sending Emily and Sean McCann Instagram messages between January the 3rd and December the 29th last year. So, I mean, it's absolutely... Things like this, you're lost for words. But there we go. That's it in a nutshell. All thanks to Professor Turi King. Done, dusted. End of. Let's just leave it. Let the McCanns live their lives. Julie Wandelt, hopefully she'll get dealt with by the courts. She'll be charged. Hopefully she'll get, 12, 24 months? That would probably be enough for her to also seek mental help while she's in prison. And Eugenie Collins, well, she's been called out here like this. Oh, well, I can't believe I even have to keep making these videos and I have to keep trying to find more reports, etc. But that was a great interview with Professor Turi King, and I hope that puts it all to bed for you once and for all. Excuse me, I am still flued up, and that way we can all sort of move on and understand and all be on the same page that Julia Wandelt and Eugenie Collins are frauds. They are not what they are trying to claim they are. And that's the end of it. So stop platforming them. Stop platforming them. Simple. So there we have it, my friends. So, Gandalf gang, as I always say, be wizard, stay wizard. And that's the wizard's words.